scared now. Now, for decades, we've heard the rhetoric of single mothers, especially the black ones. We've heard the rhetoric of how strong they are. You know, how powerful they are in the community. All of these things to boost their ego. You know, we've never put a sense of shame on this. We always made these women feel strong. We put them back on a pedestal. They still queens. Things of that nature. All this was to appease their feelings and ego. But see, logical thinking brothers like myself know that that's bullshit. And I'm here to inform brothers and just men in general and other women, that's bullshit. You a single mother, don't get scared now. See, you talked all that shit about how great you were, how you don't need a man to make this thing happen. You can do it on your own. Me and my baby gonna be all right. We gonna do what we got to do. I'm gonna keep my head up. This nigga ain't gonna, okay. You know, I don't need child support. Oh, I need child support. All of these different things. But then the reality sets in, and now you're scared. Because you know this shit that you was kicking wasn't true. You know you can't handle these motherfucking kids by yourself. You know you don't make enough. You don't have a plan on even making any. You're full of shit. This is why I don't help single mothers. I'm not gonna feed that beast. I'm not gonna aid that behavior. I'm not gonna reward that behavior. You talked all of this shit about how the construct wasn't a bad idea and all marriage isn't for everyone. Okay, suffer through this. Stop asking for help. Because if you're truly a single mother, you wouldn't need no help. See, you need help because you can't do it. You know? You need somebody to step in and give you a stroller, give you a baby carrier, give you some wife, give you this, give you that, baby registry this, baby shower this. And I've been always telling you brothers that single mothers don't deserve a baby shower. If you didn't give them a fucking baby shower and you made the construct as hard as possible, less women would be less likely to do this shit. More women would be less likely to do this shit. The reason why they think it's doable is because you niggas keep helping them. Don't help no single mother. Widows, divorced women, it's a different construct. I'm talking about the bitches who decide to hop from dick to dick and chase dreams and chase cheap liquor and then have a baby by a nigga who don't want to be with them, who don't want the baby, and they still go to term with these babies. It goes back to what Aaron Coulter said. In this day and age, statistics-wise, a child is better off being put up for adoption than to be under your leadership. You are creating murderers, strippers, countless criminals. You're not, in the black community, the single mother is not producing the best people. See, I know why you bitches are mad. Because I'm I'm gonna inform your children that they should never be like you. You still want to be looked up to in some way. So they have to be, this type of information has to be avoided. But this type of information saves a fucking life. Because the moment you had that baby out of wedlock, you signed up for poverty. Poverty. So don't get scared now. You talked all that shit. You know? You put yourself on this pedestal. I want to see you handle it then. Don't be asking for no fucking handouts. Get your ass off your ass and go get it. It's the minister.
Blaming single mother for whatever it is that is happening in the society, based on blaming them of being the ones who are giving birth to bastards who are in jail, because they call these single mothers' children bastards, some people. And according to the video that I'm going to share with you guys, you're gonna see exactly what I mean. And they blame them for giving birth to strippers, thieves, thugs, and whatnot. But there is nowhere that a man is ever gonna be accountable for whatever it is that these children, like a woman is the only one who is going to be blamed. And as a woman, that just makes me feel all sorts of way, because I'm sure the man who is actually making this video, you know, you guys, as I get older, it just doesn't rub me the right way when people choose to open their mouth to spew verbal diarrhea. I don't think anybody is supposed to be a moral judge of anyone. Whether be it, I do know for sure that there are women who choose wrong paths and choose men who are no good for whatever reason. But at the same time, there's no way you can blame a woman and throw a stone at a woman without making the black men who are deadbeat fathers accountable for their actions. Because for somebody to give birth to a child, there must be a man who does not have value to any African woman, or who has been brainwashed to look at all women as some sexual objects, you know, and they don't have regard, like they don't highly esteem women, of course. Because if I was a man, it didn't matter if a woman was willing to sleep with me so much, you know. This is just me as a woman thinking that if I was a man, I would remember that this woman is somebody's daughter, you know. And if I am not willing to be serious, if I am not willing to be with her for long run, I am not going to sleep with her. I'm not going to deposit my seed in her, because I know that I am not going to be with her. Same applies to men. If let's say you had a daughter, and some men are going to, the women are, some of them are very vulnerable, because as much as women are very smart, but most of the time they let these men manipulate them so much to an extent, they get so weak. And this man comes with the same tactics, because they lie to most women just the same way, you know. But then we ladies don't know how to use our intuitions to actually, you know, decide not to open our legs to these bastards. Let me just say they are bastards, to be honest. I'm just not going to sugarcoat this, okay? So then, at the end of the day, because I believe a man is supposed to be the head of whatever it is in the society, supposed to be the head, supposed to be the ruler, supposed to be the moral, be taken to be, you know, like you are supposed to be really highly esteemed, and you're supposed to rule, and you are supposed to guide, and you are supposed to nurture. This is just how I think. Again, There were, okay, you guys, I'm so much in my feelings based on this video. I'm gonna share with you guys, but then I'm not saying, like, I'm not gonna be sitting here, because for me as a woman, I decided to be celibate because I don't want no bastard playing with me. And you know, I don't want any man to play with my medulla oblongata. That's just what I said. And that is the reason why the shop has been closed ever since, because I decided that's the only way for me to stay out of all this drama. But again, for the women who hasn't learned, again, both of a woman and a man is accountable for the actions, whatever is happening in the society. This man went on and on to call these babies all sorts of names and to blame all these single mothers for whatever actions, and saying that they be walking around saying that they are very, very proud to be single mother. They are making it. They don't need no man in their life, la la. And I'm just like, this is the same attitude that makes so many single women. Like what do you expect single mothers to do? Do you expect them to just sit and feel so sorry for themselves? And, you know, because I do know that there are so many single women who have raised honorable human beings in the society. You know, I am sure that there are, even one of the American president himself was somebody born by a single woman, who was raised and brought up by a single woman. And there are so many people. Like, the way this man was talking was that single women are supposed to just jump. Single mothers, what am I saying, single women? Single mothers are supposed to just jump some bridge because of their sins that are so heavy. The sins that they have done is just so heavy that they're supposed to jump up the highest bridge and just tumble down and commit suicide altogether. They are worthless human beings. They don't deserve any respect, just because they chose to carry a baby whose father has ran for the hills, carry that baby to full term, and raise that baby to be responsible, and probably not to even make the same mistakes these women have made. I come from a single mother home myself. My mother raised us. My mother, I do acknowledge that my mother was not very responsible. Otherwise, it's a long story. She was not very responsible. Even though she is my mother, I know that she was not responsible. I have to repeat that again and again. But that doesn't make her less of a human being, because even though she made a lot of mistakes in her life, I personally have learned from how I saw her life ending. I learned to take the right path and to take a different path. And at the end of the day, God is the ultimate father of the fatherless children and the motherless children. As much as you think that you are in the right standing to sit there and bash and feel like you want to stone and call them BS and call them hoes and call them all sorts of these nasty names, as much as you think that you are high up, one day you do not know what child you're going to give birth. We don't know how many of your children are running around without any care. We don't know how many children you have fathered, you personally, because we know this sort of mouth diarrheaing men who diarrhea nonsense everywhere. These are the sorts of men who's got children all over the place. Because, you know, I'm not even gonna go there. So I'm just like, because I know there's a lady who was telling me, like, this is what the society has made them feel. Just because you're a single mother, you are worthless. You are absolutely worthless. Most of these people don't know that there are some women who have actually chosen to be single mothers by choice, because they have reached a certain age where they would like to have children, but they would like to start a family of their own, but there are no responsible men who are standing up to be accountable men, they are too lazy to even become husbands. So a lot of women have become of age and they don't have men to marry them. So what do? Most of these women go medical way to get children via IVF, Linda Ikeja did the same. Not specifically did the child out of IVF. She had a guy and she just wanted a child. Does that make her less of a woman? And again, traditions tell people that you have to be in the confinement of marriage to become a mother, or even to become, to have a child. That is the normal tradition that says that. Doesn't necessarily mean that women who chose to go via the IVF route to have children on their own, if they are financially responsible enough, mentally and physically fit to have children, who are you to deny somebody of having a child? Remember, God is the ultimate father to the fatherless. You can have all sorts of things to say, but at the end of the day, every single person have chosen their life the way they want to run it. And if some women choose to, they are husbandless, but they choose to have children, and these children are well taken care of and are okay, you are not in the right standing to bash these women or to throw this stone at them. I was raised by a single parent myself, and when I was growing up, oh God, we were so alienated. We were made feel like less citizens of this world. We were made feel like we were worthless. And they sang us songs like they ridiculed us, you know. And I remember there was a time that the family gatherings that there were clean people around, they didn't want to see us in these gatherings. Why? Because we were bringing shame. And we were not clean enough, or we didn't have the, it's deep, you guys. And there was even a time that these relatives were planning to go throw us in a river, you know, just because my mother, like they were torturing us mentally, physically, emotionally, verbally. They were torturing us all through the way. And now, because God is the one who sees, and God has brought a lot of children who's been birthed by single parents so far, and now they are very much functional members of the society. They are doing so well. Look at a woman like Akode. She had children. She's made mistakes in the past, and now she has children, and she's single-handedly taking care of these children. And look at her. She is making millions and millions of money, and she is a millionaire. She is helping a lot of homeless children. She is educating a lot of orphan children. She is doing so much more than even this man who is spewing verbal diarrhea could do in her lifetime. She can even feed your village. Your entire clan can be fed by this woman. And again, there are so many single women who've made it financially, they have made it educational-wise, they have made it, and their children are very much good in the society. They are doing good, you know. And there was a time this girl, because of how the society, it's even deep in Kenya, how the society make the single woman feel, the single mothers feel. Because sometimes they have 3 or 4 children. Again, you cannot blame the woman alone. You have to actually sit down. Because for me, I do not agree that this man can sit down and spew all this, knowing that these women did not make these children by themselves. There was a man who disrespect woman enough to use her as a sex tool and abandon her after depositing his seed in her. A deadbeat, good-for-nothing man is the only man who is going to abandon a whole human being that came from his groin. A real man will stick by. Even if you don't want to talk to the mother of those children, you will take care of those children regardless of what. But how many seeds are running around without your ass helping? What? You guys, I'm sorry. I am very fired up right now. There is this woman, a story that went in Kenya. This is just how deep it is. There is a school. It is called something Gatanga. I'm not even going to mention it. It's some missionary school. And a lot of single women in Kenya, why do I keep saying single women? Okay, single mothers, you guys. A lot of single mothers in Kenya, or even mothers, even whether they are married or not, I don't care. Women usually take their children to boarding schools. So this woman took her child to boarding school, and it's clear that she was a single woman. She was a single mother. So her child was a teenage girl who was very playful, very athletic, in good, extremely good health. So this girl had gone to this school, and this girl was pinpointed at, like she was targeted, because she was a good target. So apparently the headmistress of this school hated this girl so much. And even the schools hated this girl because they had probably investigated and found out that this kid was coming from a single mother's child. So guess what happened? This child ended up being murdered. And the circumstances that surrounds this girl's murder is very unknown. The headmistress and the entire school, including the children in that school, are not speaking up and saying the truth. Whatever the headmistress was saying is the cause of this girl's death is far from exactly what caused her death. Because according to the headmistress, the girl was apparently wetting her bed, and a lot of things happened. What happened was, according to the autopsy, the girl was hit severally in the head by a blunt object that causes hammer something, you know, this the injury of the brain. And this is what caused the girl's death. So the girl was lying in the dormitory the whole time. The girls in the school had been told not to utter a word because obviously they knew what went on. This child died helplessly in a school dormitory without anybody rushing this child to the hospital. There was a police who was living in the school compound. After the death of this child, this police had been transferred to go in another post. So meaning that this police knew what was going on. Again, in Kenya, if you do not have money, or if you, like you guys, it's deep. So anyway, this kid ended up being murdered, and this kid ended up being buried. The child died in the school dormitory, and then the mother only got called, and she was just told that the kid is seriously ill. Meanwhile, the kid died long time ago before she was even taken. So the headmistress was rushing the kid to the hospital with her car, along with the school matron. And when they reached the hospital, the CCTVs were showing everything. The mother was called in the hospital and told to come with somebody, that the kid is sick. And they said that the kid, they fabricated a certain story to make it look like the kid just fell down from, the kid was sleeping on the lower decker bed. For some reason, the kid fell down in her sleep and injured herself. And so the woman went to the school after the kid's death and asked for closure. What happened, you know? And she was asking the headmistress, kindly allow me to see where my child was sleeping. But the headmistress told her that you can't go there, simply because the children are very, very shaken right now, and we don't want any disturbance to our children. Meaning they are shaken and they are in trauma, and there is, these children who have fathers, they are shaken and there is trauma. But the single mother's child who is going in the grave, hey, Yesu ni mwema. You guys, to make the long story short, the mothers of this school who had children in here did not protest. Nobody came out in the school to find out what happened. You guys, if it was me, my child, I go there and make sure I go there together with my cameras and pick up my child. I'd rather homeschool my child. Take my child to the school and film the entire thing. No woman who had a child in this school protested, showed support to this woman. Nobody did nothing until today. Meanwhile, the girl is 6 feet under. And the thing is gone. The story is gone and dusted. That is Kenya for you. No one is speaking up against a single mother's child being murdered in cold blood. And a lady was telling me that just because of the way the society makes her feel, she wants to commit suicide. Because she is a single mother of 2 children, and in her neighborhood where she stays, everyone is humiliating her. And everyone is bullying her, saying that obviously she goes to work and she comes back in the morning. So the fellow women who have husbands make her feel that she is a shewo. A shewo is a prostitute. So everyone is saying, no wonder you have children without a father. You are nothing, you know. So this woman was obviously looking for the father of her children because she feels in her belief, she believes no man is going to take her with these children. So she wants the father of her children back, or she's committing suicide. To make the long story short, again, the father of her children is some good-for-nothing man who comes in only to sleep with her because, remember, they have succumbed to the society ridicule. They'd rather be with the women, with the men who even molest their children. They'd rather be with any kebunda of a man, so long as it's a man, even if it is a community penis man. They'd rather just have a man. Jehovah help us as women all together. So then this woman, the man who had fathered her children already sort of left her, you know, randomly just walked out of her for 10 or 12 good years. But this time she said, I need him back because I cannot take this ridicule or I'll kill myself. So then the man had already gotten married to another woman, whom again is a long story. So then this woman goes to some, I don't know which doctor or what, to like do some magic so that the man comes back. The witch doctor did the magic. They broke up with the other man, and the man comes back. So to make the long story short, now she's with this ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. But then what I'm just saying is that, you guys, I don't understand exactly the reason why these men feel that she is in the right standing to put any single woman down for whichever the case. She would rather a woman works in an abortion clinic and takes care, aborts the baby just to convenient herself, rather than bringing that child to full term and raising that child. He would rather somebody not carry a child to full term. There is a lot of women who've done a lot of abortion, but in the society, they are in the right standing, better than the single mothers. And I just don't understand why things in this world are so twisted. If I choose to be a single mother, I would be a single mother, come rain or sunshine, if that is what I want for myself. So long as I don't come and ask your ass to put on my table, food on my table, you don't have a say in my uterus. The Bible says, go and multiply. Go and multiply. It did not say go and multiply. If there are no husbands, if they are all deadbeat and all acting crazy, and most of them are here and there letting their erection determine their direction, dipping and doing and dipping their penises all over whichever else is walking in the streets. Who's got time for this type of men now? So long as they are not, and most of these misbehaving men have been raised by married women. Aha. They are married, their mothers have been married 25 years plus. or even 30 years plus. Tell me, even the time that you are trying to, a lot of women have turned now to being alone. Some of them have turned to become gay for whatever case. Some of them are now attracted to women. Some of them, you know, a lot of people, even there are men who choose to cut off their penises and turn it into a vagina. A lot of things are happening in the world now. The least thing that you can actually feel traumatizing or worried about is somebody choosing to carry a child full time. How many times should I talk to you? Do you need me to ring a bell inside your head to let you know to mind your own freaking business? Mind your own freaking business, huh? And that is the reason why, because you cannot shut up your mouth. You keep spewing verbal diarrhea everywhere you go. You alone, you don't have any moral standing in the community, in the society. You are not contributing anything. And at the end of this video, he's saying, donate. Ha! Abby, am I the one overreacting or what? I stand with all the women who chose to bring children into full term and to raise them single-handedly. Whatever the society is saying, keep your heads up and stand strong, knowing that you are very strong. Those children will become something in this society. The people who rejected and felt like we were nothing, like those are the same people who are looking at me or somebody else who's made it in life and saying, I can't believe it. Now, who is talking? I'm not going to talk any further. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.